Aloha Kohala, you're listening to KNKR LP 96.1 FM Kohala. This is Eila Allgood and
Michál Anna.
And you're listening to Intuitive Talk Story, and we are ready to talk with you. If you have a question or you have a comment, please call us at 808-884-5657. If you have my cell number, I'll have my phone nearby so I can get a text.
I do not have my phone nearby.
Don't text Michál.
Don't text me.
Nope, just text Eila or call here at the station, 884-5657. And we want to talk to you first, being we're Intuitive Talk Story, a little bit about intuition and why is it important and how do you feel it and why is it important right now? So I'd like to start, because this was kind of coming to me today, is that there's a time that's going on right now, and maybe it's always going on, that there's lots of decisions to be made about our life, about our body, about our day-to-day living. And sometimes the information or the pressure we feel from external sources push us down a path that somehow doesn't feel right for us. And the more in touch with your intuition you are, the better the decision you can make for yourself and your life and your body. Because when you make the best decision for you, you are serving the people and the world around you. What do you think of that?
Absolutely. And loaded. So I was thinking, when you're making decisions based on intuition, how do you know it's intuition versus your own thoughts? Well, one is we think a lot, and we're so smart. We think we so smart. We know so much. And
yes.
So, we get caught in our minds. Your mind tells you, well, this is this. And you can justify and factualize and go back and forth with yourself on many things. But I think of it as being in your gut. Like if you put your hands on your body and hold your body, you're like, ooh, that just doesn't feel good. Or, oh, yeah, it resonates. Ooh, lights me up. I feel good. But if you feel like a heaviness or like, oh, I don't really know, that's the feeling you're listening to. Yeah. It's trusting when your body actually tells you. I mean, when you're sick, right, your body tells you, I don't feel good. Mm-hmm. You need to look at this. It does the same thing with your emotional and spiritual and, physiological life, like how you feel. Mm-hmm. So when you allow yourself to drop into that gut feeling, and here in Hawaii, you say the na'au, right? Your na'au. What does your na'au say? What do you say in your stomach, in your core of your being, where your pico is, like where your spirit? What does it say to you? And you're dropping into that feeling. What am I really feeling? And we aren't taught this in our, in Hawaii we are, in our cultures we are here, but in regular
kind of Western culture
does not really resonate in springboarding from those concepts.
I like that word, springboarding. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes it's easy one of the things I've done over my life is practice my intuition on simple things, not the big decision whether I should move to Nova Scotia or should I move to Tahiti, but something simple, some day-to-day thing like, would it be a good idea for me to call my friend so-and-so? It doesn't feel right. I don't know. That doesn't feel good. It's not what I'm supposed to do right now. So sometimes just using it for small decisions, even going to the grocery store and looking at two kinds of food and saying, this one over here or this one over here. Oh, I'm really drawn to this one over here on my right. I'm gonna get that. So you practice it with those things that maybe don't seem so earth-shattering, so that when there are decisions to be made that are grander, more impactful in your life, whether to move, whether to take a course, whether to be in a relationship with someone or get out of the relationship with somebody. Well, you want to really trust your intuition then, especially if you have people or a person around you who's telling you to do the opposite of really what is best for you.
That's right. And I'm going to take it a step further. And this language may not resonate for you. Please change the language to fit for yourself. I'm going to say connection to divine source or connection to infinite creator, connection to God, connection to all that is, that where does that intuition come from? It comes from our connection to nature, to everything that is, to one another, to the life force that flows through each and every one of us, through the divine creator that resonates through us. That's our intuition. So we're listening. For me, it is listening to spirit. I sense it as I'm listening to guidance and following my higher guidance. And on the kind of the opposite, I've actually lived my whole life kind of on intuition. That's really my norm, is to live from intuition. So that's how I came to Hawaii, entirely how I came here. Like, I was 24 years old, and when I got here, I just turned 24, and I was led here. Like, I had been traveling and on a spiritual journey and going to different healing gatherings. I was doing healing work at the time, but really, resonating, should I go study in New Mexico with this healer? Or then I kept meeting all these people, and they kept saying, "Are you from Hawaii? Are you from Hawaii? No. Are you from Hawaii? No." I was like, it happened so much. I said, Spirit, am I supposed to go to Hawaii? Like, what is this? Literally, I ran into an old roommate from college. I lived in big, community house at one point. There was a number of people there. So a brother of mine was like, hey, I ran into the next day. Our friend Taylor is living on the Big Island. You should go visit him. Wow. So I'm like, okay, Spirit, you're literally telling me to go there. So I came to Hawaii, went to massage school, and that was all very cosmic how that happened. And, that's how I started being here. I was led here with a backpack and a drum, never left, led out of my Puna envision to come to Hawi, began a restaurant, so many things, right? But all by listening and just listening and following. I like to say following the breadcrumbs. Yeah. Because you go, oh, you follow it. What does that mean? What is that actually telling me? And that is literally how I do everything. I'm listening and thinking, like feeling into it. And it allows, it's like what I'd like to say is you make room for magic. Yeah. You have to make room for magic in your life to allow it to flow through your life, to flow through you, which kind of brings us into flow and gratitude, because gratitude is a really great way to begin cultivating more magic and flow, because the more grateful we get for what we have, the more that is given unto us. Yeah,
we've shared that quite a bit, the gratitude, and whether it's something really small, there's no judgment on how big or small the gratitude is, but I certainly find it helps shift me also out of moods. If I'm in a funky place, I just keep going to gratitude for every blade of grass I see. It doesn't matter. It shifts the brain. I'm sure there's some neuroscience to that.
Well, it's vibrational. Back to that vibrational chart that we brought up last time. And that vibrational chart, and you can look that up online. You could probably just Google vibrational emotions chart, and it'll show you what that energy is. And gratitude is higher than love and appreciation. It's a very, I don't remember the number.
It's very up
but it's
there.
Like in the 700s, maybe 800s of gratitude. So let's say you're resonating in a lot of fear, and maybe you're just at 100 or 150. Fear, I think, is 150. Courage is about 200.
Rage is way down low.
Right. So let's say you're in one of those lower ones. Yeah. Just do the math. If this is 800 and you're at 150, if you can hit gratitude, you average it out and you just shot yourself up to the next rung. Yeah. Right? What's the median? Now we're getting into some willingness. Now I'm getting into some courage. Now I'm getting into some, okay, maybe I can do this. Okay, I'm getting into some neutrality. Wow, I just shot up the ladder. And that other emotion is now a memory. Yeah, it's going away. We're letting it go.
Yeah.
And of course, we've talked about that. There are tools to really let things go, because letting something go and just dismissing it are two different things, right?
Well, it's shoving it under the rug. Yeah. Some of us were taught to
sweeping under the rug.
Sweep our emotions under the carpet. And throughout my life, I've had to learn to first acknowledge those emotions, not sweep them under the carpet, but to find the proper way for me to let them go. And the things that we share with people, that we talk about, this is also why your intuition's really important. See, when you hear us talk about something, if it doesn't resonate for you, if it feels off for you, that's okay. That's about something else for you. So look at that and research it more within yourself to find out, well, I hear what they're saying, but that doesn't sound right to me. So I'm going to explore that further for myself.
Exploration is fabulous, because the other part of that exploration is anytime you feel, well, you're going to like rub the wrong way or triggered or just not feel good in general, something's coming up within ourselves. That's us. That's something within us that's, ooh, I don't like that. Oh. And that probably is connected to something from, earlier in life, a childhood experience. So that gets back into the inner child work, which I was just speaking with someone today about that, and how the power of really, if we all just made relationships with our inner child, that's really it. That's that simplistic way is get to know your inner child, get to know the 7-year-old you, the 5-year-old you, know that they're right there with you now. And if you can tap in and go, what's going on? Then you go, oh, I'm just feeling hurt, or I'm just feeling not valued. You get to the core. And this kind of, like with parallels, how we can explain that on a medical, on a kind of 3D level, is you can treat symptoms, which is what like an Advil does, right? You have a headache, it treats the symptom, right? You get rid of the headache, but you haven't treated the reason why you have a headache. Maybe your neck is out of alignment. You need to get a chiropractic adjustment, actually get your bones back in order, and then the headache would not be there. So the Advil isn't really fixing anything. It's just a Band-Aid, right? So we don't go to the core, so it keeps happening, and now you have chronic neck issues. Right. Instead of getting to the core and addressing what's really going on, which is I don't feel worthy. Right? I don't feel good enough. That's the real issue going on here. If I can address that, get my neck adjusted, now I'm actually healing from the core.
Now you're healed it rather than masked it.
Than masking or Band-Aiding. And so the goal is, like anything, another analogy, pull it up from the root, right? You want to plant a strong foundation so something grows well, but we also need to pull something up from the root, or else a weed will come back. You just keep cutting it, but it's just going to keep coming up until you get in there and really dig out the roots.
And then you can be done with it.
And then you are done with it. In fact, someone said to me the other day, well, everybody has those, and they're just there forever. It just never goes away. And I said, I'm sorry. It actually does go away.
Yeah.
I don't have that voice anymore. I did have those voices.
Right.
I remember those voices talking to me, but they aren't talking anymore because they're gone. Because I pulled them up from the root.
Well, as you're talking, it reminds me of homeopathy, because I started going to a homeopath 30 years ago. And what I love about homeopathy, besides the fact that it's, non-invasive and you take these tiny little things and put them under your tongue, is that my visits with my homeopath are anywhere from 1 to 2 hours. Now, they're not that long now, but in the beginning, because we talk about all of the physical symptoms, but then we talk about what's going on in your life, what's your emotions, and there's no judgment. This guy would sit there with like no expression on his face and just keep asking me question after question. And I was talking about, yes, the physical, but so much more. And it got to the root of, I had like chronic nasal problems, and I'd get bronchitis every year. I was a sickie. I mean, double ear infections, all kinds of stuff. And once I went and did this work with him, which was just a year, gone, never to be seen again. So I really have experienced that getting to the root of it. And we don't have to psychoanalyze it. We just have to understand what's at the root so that we can then heal that and move on. You don't have to go, well, I don't want to.
Well, there's many ways around it.
Yeah.
And each person's path is their own in that journey.
Yes.
But one thing I'll add to that, from myself, I so agree. I mean, the health component. So I think of it as it's always this Trinity, body, mind, spirit. And as you move one part of the triangle, you're shimmying the other part up, and shimmy it up, triangle. Can you see it in your mind? Shimmying up, triangle, point. So as that goes up, you can also use other places to help you get there. Like, so on the health note, back to that vibration, and I think we brought this up before, but for myself, I mean, in my 20s, I was resonating heavily in Candida, which is when you have over sugar, right? Way too much sugar in your body. And over sugar also creates a lot of emotional swings. And, you know, honestly, I didn't really realize it then, but I do now, is that Candida and parasites of that nature are really like the energy of shame. And I did not think I was good enough, and I felt horrible about myself in certain ways, and was grappling with those things, and was in those energies of, and I'm, you know, I suck, I'm not good, and I could, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We know those voices,
self-harm,
right.
Bad self-talk.
But I had all this sugar and parasites in my body that were resonating that energy. So
like little foreign entities.
Yeah. So as you clear the physical part, like I did Candida cleansing, and my mom, thankfully, is an iridologist and a nutritionist. So she's been my doctor for, you know, ever. And she got me on Candida cleanses. She put me through that. And it was literally, you know, I mean, it took me a while. It doesn't overnight. This isn't an Advil. You're healing, you're cleansing. So you got to stick with it. It took me a couple years to really cleanse out my body of that energy and those toxins. But as I was doing that, my emotional health was also cleansing. Things are coming to the surface, ideas, concepts, things to look at, because the physical body and detoxing it is helping then for me to see the emotion and go, oh, wow, what's this really? I have to deal with this, because you're moving it into a more alkaline state overall, which I've been liking to call like alkalizing body, mind, and spirit, because you're just coming into perfect pH in all levels to be able to receive and process and stand in kind of the center, activating all things at once.
Wow. When you were talking, I was thinking of, I watched a video today, it came to me, and it was on something very, very practical, which was chewing and the value of chewing for our brain and our jaw and our teeth, and how and I'm just going to share this because this was from a neuroscientist, and she was saying that in the past 200 years, we've processed foods more and more and more to the point where a lot of people aren't chewing much. And the act of chewing is actually good for us. So eating raw vegetables and salads, and you know what I'm talking about. The different kinds of foods.
You're actually activating enzymes.
Yeah, and you're doing something in your,
and your muscles are moving.
Right, you're physical,
moving, and your jaw holds an immense amount of emotions, and often lineage, like with your ancestral lineage, family. It's also, when you think, like, look at your think where if you just put your hands on your jaw, push it back to your ears, and you go, oh, that connects into like right there into my neck, and then back into my occiput in the back of your head. Oh, that's all connected. Oh, and then it goes down my spine. Ooh, so if my neck is feeling anything, I'm going to start feeling, if my jaw is feeling anything, it's going to go to my neck, it's going to go to my jaw. So as you open your mouth, here's something you can all do right now. Just open your mouth and be like a Maori, like stick your tongue out. And you have to make that sound. Because when you do that, so you feel your mouth open, and you might be someone who goes, oh my God, I never open my mouth. I'm like always talking right here. Because English, the language itself, doesn't open your mouth that much. If you start paying attention to it, which I thought about a lot when I'm learning, because I've been learning Susu from Africa for the last 7 years. It's a much different language. You open your mouth more. Adabagadi, amurabakioki. You open it. It's like moving, and you're using different parts of your throat. So you start thinking about, oh, wow, how we activate sound, right? And so open your mouth. And don't be afraid to be silly. Like, let yourself be get crazy, silly, let go of things in your body, shake things out of your body, open it up, because that's going to help allow energy, because it's as much an energetic game, actually really it is an energetic game, as physical. The physical shows up last. Right. This is the last place you see stuff. Yeah. So the jaw connected to the neck, you can massage your own jaw. You can tap your head, put your fingers on your jaw, tap the top of your head, talking to your brain. Saying, hey, brain, check this out. What's going on in my jaw? Can you look at this? Just, hey, your body temple is all knowing. Your own divine template is ever knowing. And if we really deepen into our trust of our divine template, then we know that we don't really need anything else than that. We can just support with plants and proper nutrition healthy immune function. We can support health and vitality. And with your thoughts, if you're thinking, I am in health, I am feeling good, you're creating health. If every day, right, you're telling yourself that bad hip, well, you're not making it better. So we're activating health in trusting this divine template, which kind of brought us back to intuition and trusting what you know about yourself. What is your body telling you it needs? And because it knows, it knows.
Well, you're talking about the jaw and the neck and the connection. And I think a lot of times in our Western medicine, somebody hurts their wrist and they just go to the wrist doctor. You know, but the wrist is attached to the hand, is attached to the arm, and how is that affecting or affected by other parts of the body? And I just see that it doesn't serve us to just go to somebody to fix it. We need to get to all of those different, I have all these things buzzing through my head. We need to get to
holistic,
the different aspects of us, what might be going on in our day-to-day life. Maybe there's some history we haven't quite healed yet. Maybe there's something in our environment. Maybe. So it's valuable to go to somebody to get some insight, because sometimes when it's our own body, we're so close to it, we just can't quite get to it. So yeah, go to somebody else and ask for someone you trust and ask for their input. But ultimately, it's your intuition that's going to tell you what it's about. And you were talking about intuition and connection to divine and divinity and whatever a person's language might be. And I feel that is what I agree with you in that intuition is our divine spark connected to the divinity of anything and everything. And why wouldn't we want to be in conversation and communication with that when it offers us answers that we cannot find anywhere else? You can't find them in the books or on the internet. You know?
Yeah, and spirit often leads you to the places where you can find them. So like right now, if you feel resonating, for instance, if you feel resonating to work with me, if you're feeling like, gosh, I want to work with this woman, follow it, because that's spirit telling you, I might have something to share with you, or that might be where you might get the next answer. Vice versa, if you feel like, oh, I need to go to that class, I need to go into that place, follow it, because there's something there for you. So whatever you're feeling, trust your intuition to go, I need to go check that out. I often, for me, it's like simple things like, I was driving in Pueblo. Here's a great one. I think I told you this. I was driving in Pueblo and I got pulled, to go to TJ Maxx, which I was like, TJ Maxx, I haven't seen one of those in like 15 years. And then I see it and I'm like, all of a sudden my car is just kind of going. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm going to TJ Maxx. I'm just listening. Okay, I'm going. And then I end up having this very magical experience, kind of like ministering to a woman in the TJ Maxx. And she was like, used to live in Hawaii. And, it was just this beautiful moment. And, ended with this, aloha and her almost crying, and we hugged. And it was so beautiful. And I felt like, spirit delivered me right there, right now, to just be that for this one moment. And then off I go. I mean, I'm on a road trip. I'm just driving through town, and here I go. And so when we listen, we allow ourselves to be connected and help one another in profound ways and show up for each other in profound ways. Like, wow, how many times has someone been there for you? And you're like, oh my gosh, where'd you come? Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, when we're listening, we show up.
Right. And, you say the magic. I was talking to some people last night about planning a trip versus going on a trip. And there was, different people with different opinions. And the feeling that I get when I travel, when I don't have a much of a plan, is that's where the magic can happen. If I have everything nailed down that I'm going to do this, and then, at 9 o'clock, and then at 11 o'clock, and then there's a class I can take at 4 o'clock, that constricts me.
Yeah.
I can feel myself just talking about it, feeling like that's not an adventure to me. I could go to that class at 4:00, but I don't want to be locked into that class at 4:00 when something else might happen when I'm walking to the library or to TJ Maxx, It's allowing yourself to be in the flow and follow the energy where it takes you.
Allowing time between them. And that's definitely been a long lesson for me because I would just love to go. I'm always in the flow, but then I'm late, because I pack everything too far together. So, it's leaving space, funny. Right? Leaving more space so that you have time. Well, who knows? I might want to stop and watch the sunset. I might see a whale. I mean, whatever it is, you giving yourself a moment to just enjoy and not feel like you have to be somewhere. We put a lot of imposed expectations on ourselves. Mm-hmm. That's a great one I've been talking about this week, expectations and disappointments. Mm-hmm. Because obviously expectations are what create disappointments. You can't be disappointed if you don't have an expectation. All right. And that's not to say, oh, well, what? People say, well, should I just expect no one to do anything? I'll just leave dirt all over the floor. No, not that. There's parameters, there's respect, there's jobs, there's chores, there's daily things that need to happen. We have to have respect and things to help one another. But we place a lot of expectations, and you can imagine, obviously, think of relationshiping, how many expectations you might place on your partner or on your child or on your friend or on, like aunties or just whatever role we place expectations on them. If we can shift those into gratitude of that really, just because she's my mom, she doesn't have to clean out my fridge. Right. And my mom just did do that, clean out my fridge. And thank you, Mama, for that's not just because she's, but
you weren't expecting that.
No.
That was wow, that's a bonus.
It was amazing. But at the same time, I also acknowledge that as my mother, she's helped me over the years. I'm more apt to, oh yeah, thanks, Mom. And not give it a lot of energy because she is my mom and she does do things to help me. And well, that's what you do. Right. You can get into that. Right. Well, you're my mom. Yeah. So of course you're going to do it.
Of course you would do that.
Right. And so instead going, no, you don't have to do it because you're my mom, even though I'm so grateful, but acknowledging it even more wow, thank you for really making that choice. Of course, you're motivated by being a mom.
But it's seeing her as a human, spiritual being
without having
that role,
the role attached to it.
Right.
And just being grateful.
Right. And
acknowledging.
As one who's continues to do things for those children of mine, it comes from a place of unconditional love. Right. And that's, I'm sure, why your mom wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Now, not every parent has unconditional love for their kids. And, there is no formula for this, but it's just, I think it is really valuable to be conscious if you are expecting. Because if you're expecting things of others, then you're doing that to yourself.
Exactly. And then you're disappointed in yourself.
And why is that? Because it's an inside job, right?
That's right. It's all an inside job. There's nobody out there. Nobody out there. Someone was laughing with me. They said that show where we did that. I was like, Eila, there's nobody out there. They said, well, we just love that. We bust laughing. We were laughing so hard. It was so fun. And it's true. We have to laugh at ourselves because there is nobody out there. So there's nobody to make fun of you other than yourself, right?
That's right.
So judge not, let go, be silly, make it fun, let go, let God, and give thanks.
All right. We're going to come back after a quick break.
Kohala High School class of 2021 will have their graduation ceremony Saturday, May 22nd, beginning at 2 p.m. with a private drive-through commencement at Kohala High School. Follow Kohala High School on social media for information on a live stream of the event for friends and family. And join us afterwards along Oconee-Pule Highway to cheer on the graduates as they promenade from Kohala High School to the middle school. Congratulations, class of 2021. You found a way.
Women's Voices on KNKR LP 96.1 FM Kohala with your host Eila Allgood. I'm proud to say that I've been doing this show now for 6 years, and I still find amazing songs and spoken words by female artists from right here in Kohala and around the world. Tune in to 96.1 FM or stream live at www.knkr.org. All right, we're back here. You are here with Eila and
Michál Anna
on Intuitive Talk Story, KNKR LP 96.1 FM Kohala. And I signed up for this class, Expanding Your Consciousness through Transcendental Meditation folks. And I'm watching these videos of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi from 1971, 50 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's so interesting to listen to every word, and I even read the words. And one of the things I'm really getting out of this is, first of all, it's kind of, I can't logically understand it. I have to just allow it in. But he talks a lot about, as we increase our heart, as we increase our love for ourselves and those around us, how we move into cosmic consciousness, mm-hmm. and how certainly beneficial it is for us, for our level of quality of life and joyfulness. So I just wanted to bring that up today because who talks about this kind of stuff other than us?
Lots of people, actually. I talk about this stuff all the time.
Not on KNKR.
Yeah, right. Well, activating love. Yes, absolutely. That's what we are here to do right now. Mm. If we, dilute it down to the base, we're choosing love, we're choosing fear. Let's choose love. Let's activate our divine love, activating that connection to divine source energy that runs through every single one of us. We're all connected to the tree of life, to all that is, to the breath of life, right? And I want to remind us all that, we say aloha, that was to be with the breath. When we come together in Honi Honi, right, we're saying, I'm willing to choose, I'm willing to breathe with you. We're not afraid of one another, that we're willing to breathe together. Mm-hmm. And as we build our immune systems, right, and create vitality and health, honestly, where there is light, there can be no darkness. So if you're vibrating in a body of health, light, love, back to that vibrational chart, right? You're in the upper levels. Those parasites, viruses, all that kind of stuff is lower energies, like I was telling you about Candida. Yeah. That's a parasitical situation. It's a low vibration. It can't actually exist in a high divine love vibrational state. Mm-hmm. I was not resonating in divine love at that time. I was resonating in my crap.
You were where you were.
Was what was. And so we can only be where we are, but we can move up the ladder and make conscious choices that we want to be in vibrational health. Mm-hmm. And I think if we started looking, like if you truly are looking to be healthy, think in terms of vibration and frequency. Because that's really where it's all at. It's an energy. And you create that through giving your food, eating well, creating an alkaline environment. You create that by thinking good thoughts. You create that by praying. You create that by being kind and compassionate. You can create that by being honest with yourself, so that you're not harboring anything. There's nothing underlying going on. You mean what I say.
No ulterior motives.
Mean.
Yeah, no passive aggressive behavior.
Is what it is.
Yeah, but also to recognize that, like anything, we go forward, but there are times we may slide back and have that experience of, oh boy, I'm in this not so great state. And
it's just because we haven't healed whatever's there. So and we get to look at it. We
can go a little deeper and
or deeper, or we've just healed a part of it and now we're digging a little more. Well, I got that first bit of roots. Oh, but it actually goes a little further down. Oh, let me grab those too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it allows us a lot of releasing things, moving up that vibrational ladder. Point is, we create our reality. We create our health. We are beings of divine free will. This is a planet of free will. We have choice. We get to choose.
I was, so I've been reading a bit. I've been definitely in the educational mode. I've been, watching the Maharishi from 50 years ago. And I've been reading these different books just calling to me. The next one I'm going to be reading is an Edgar Cayce book, which I was never that interested in Edgar Cayce, but now I am. So for those of you listening, pay attention to something that you may be drawn to at this time. Anyway, I'm reading this book on biocentrism, and it really kind of blows my mind because it talks about time and space, and that it's really a fabrication of humans to create time and space, and that, let's see if I can even put into words some of the feeling that does the world exist if there's no observer? And this is something that they're learning through quantum.
Well, does the tree make a sound
science.
if no one is there to hear it?
Right. If the tree falls in the
Right.
forest, does it make a sound? And, this book goes into why it doesn't make a sound.
Because
there's
observation itself is that's what makes it there.
Yeah.
Is it even? Yeah, it's because it's all, again, back to there's nobody out there. Right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all the
Yeah.
same thing, which is what's so funny.
Yeah. That is funny. That is funny. Yeah.
How could it not be if there's only one thing?
Yeah. And I don't know. To me, it's very exciting that I create my own reality.
Yes.
I think some people get afraid by it because maybe it's a responsibility, and especially when things don't go well. But even when things don't go well, to me, they're going fine because they're going to take me someplace else. Yeah.
Well, it depends what we think of when we think of not go well. I mean, well, of course, there are tragic things, obviously. There are many tragic things that we can't understand. But we do, not to say, oh, that person, called that in, but we do call things in certain ways, and we make choices more than anything. If I choose to never brush my teeth and I choose to eat candy bars every day, well, then it's going to be no surprise that I have a load of cavities and maybe my gut is like in deep trouble.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to see that my decisions created my reality.
Right.
So like that's just, the way it works. We plant the seed, it grows. If you don't plant it, nothing's going to grow. I mean, it's just simple stuff.
Right.
So we have to do the daily, earth plane to me, this is all like maintenance. It's day to day. You got to go out there, brush the teeth, wash your face, feed the body, go to the bathroom, drink water. We have so many maintenance that needs to happen in your house. Make sure you clean your house, mow the lawn, vacuum the thing. We're in tons of maintenance, right? But if you can see maintenance as a form of prayer, like back to that gratitude, like, said a guy, I got to wash my thing. It's like, well, give thanks I have a floor to wash. I'm so grateful I have a floor to wash, and it makes it a prayerful thing. Now I'm doing it. It's like a Buddhist mantra that you're making and brushing away, like, the Zen and the Tibetan monks who make these amazing mandalas, like beautiful sand mandalas.
I've seen them do it.
Oh, wow.
In person.
Wow.
Watch them do it. And then what happens when they're done with that beautiful mandala?
Wipe it away.
They just wipe it away. It's gone.
Wipe it away. So you're treating
it's all
everything
about
like
being in the moment.
Prayerfully in the moment with no attachment to what you're getting or the result.
Like this mandala they're going to make is now going to be, petrified and installed on the wall for everybody to see for the next 100 years.
Nope.
No, it's gone.
Petrified and installed in the energetics of that moment, here and now.
I like that.
Yes, and you infuse it. I want to remind you all to breathe out there, and I want you to use your breath. Something's not going good for you, blow it out. I don't need it. Use the breath of life. Clear your energy. Claim your space. Nothing can be taken from you. You are all powerful, all amazing, divine beings of the infinite.
The opinions, belief, and views of the hosts do not necessarily reflect those of KNKR or their affiliates.
That's right.
Anyway, we were talking about breathing.
Yes. Breathe. Breathe in your space. Breathe, sing, breathe, pray. Speak out loud. Speak what it is you want. Speak it and so shall it be, right? Let the words come from your mouth. In the beginning was the word. We resonated and so shall it becomes, right? So we speak it and breathe it out. That this is it. I claim this in myself. I am choosing love. I choose love.
Go stand in front of the mirror
I choose
and say
health.
that. Yeah.
I choose vitality. You know, I believe in my immune system. I believe in my body wisdom. Show me what I need. And then we feed it really good things, right? We have to do it's like our car. Everything's the same, right? Get the car. If you don't take care of it, you leave it all dusty in the garage, you never run it, whatever, it's not going to work well. You put crappy fuel, crappy oil, never change the oil. And then when it doesn't work, well, whose fault is that?
Yeah. You're disappointed.
Right.
It's like, oh, how come my car doesn't work?
But it's because we didn't take care of it. So we have to take care of what we have, be good stewards of what we have. And this concept was coming up big today. I was talking with a friend today and just about stewardship. And, boy, I just can't say enough about that, because it's never about we've made the mistake. Well, here's an example. I got the Monopoly game recently. Okay, I played this when I was a child.
Yeah.
And my dad and I played a lot, and I realized where I learned all this, my dad taught me sales and kind of moving and grooving and shaking, and I had to sell him to get anything kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we pulled out the Monopoly game, my sweetheart and my mom and I, and thought, wow, I started reading it. It's a newer version. It says right on there, how to get there fast and take it all.
Oh, God.
And then they tell you rules, and this is for 8-year-olds and up. Don't make any decisions on pity, profit only. I mean, it gives you like 8 cutthroat rules on
Monopoly.
how to be a landlord, how to be like a jerk.
Oh, wow.
How to take the
like
pie.
a slumlord.
Like a slumlord.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, look at that programming early on of just like that's what it's supposed to be about, and not operating from compassion or from helping one another. And that's kind of
equality,
the problem we've gotten into, is this competition versus cooperation.
Right. If I have it, then you don't, or you have it, then I don't.
Hierarchical thinking, which again resonates in duality, which we've talked about. But if we choose to shift that energy into cooperation and see that I'm just a steward of this as much as you're a steward, we're just here to take care together of our planet, really, right? Like, just because you quote unquote own that piece of land doesn't mean you really own anything. You just have been, you get to steward that
when
land.
I go
You
back
get
to the
serve it.
land, it's not going to be mine anymore. At some point, we all leave this place.
That's right.
And we don't own anything.
Exactly. You're
It just goes to wherever. Yeah, you're steward.
And that
I like
stewardship becomes more than that, because how you treat what you have. If you get anything you get, right? Let's say you get an iPod. Wow. If you're like, oh wow, it's just the iPod.
It's not the one I wanted.
It's not the newest one, and you treat it like it's nothing. Well, then why should you get more? You just treated what you were given like poop. So instead, if you treat whatever you're given as gold, like this is gold. I value this. I take care of it. I make sure I put it away because I want to keep it nice. I treat it well. And in doing so, you actually call in more things to you. More abundance can come to you because you're treating and sending out the energy of care and abundance and worthiness. And my things are worthy of staying nice. Just me treating myself
right, and that
way.
includes people. So
and you're starting by treating yourself in worthiness, and then you attract other people who are going to also treat you that way. Like, here's another example. For instance, in creating and kind of setting energy, like when people come to my house, I really always like to clean my kitchen prior to guests coming. And the reason why really is, if you come into my kitchen and it's full of dishes and sink that's dirty with glasses, you just drank some water, you're going to come over the glass. Well, you're just going to set it in there and think, well, they just leave it all dirty. Whatever. I'm out of here. But if it's clean, you're going to go, oh, I'm going to wash my dish and put it away nice, and I'm going to do that and be respectful. So we set the stage for how we'd like our things to be treated, just as we set the stage for how we'd like ourselves to be treated. If I treat myself with respect and worthiness, then others can treat me with that, with more grace and ease, right? Because I'm setting it up that way. So we're really creating the energy of what we want by how we put it out there, right? Another one, like I was in Africa, which I've been to 7 times, but in Guinea, I was walking with the first year I went with my master teacher, Mustafa Bangora, who's an amazing artist, with his family in a setting with his company, and there was a number of French people with us. This is in 2012, and we were walking on the street, and there was a huge group of French people in front of me walking. I was walking by myself, maybe with one Guinea person, and they were walking straight ahead. There's all these neighborhoods, like houses to the left, all these Guinea people sitting in, all these places. and everyone seems real stern-faced, and they're just, the French people are just walking forward, not looking, not connecting. And you think, oh, well, this looks stern. But when I walk, I went right behind them. And I'm like, hey, Aravagiri, like, and everybody lit up, smiles and laugh. Hey, it's Namana. Hey, Aravagiri, Musebaki. People try to, hey, smiling and laughing. So if you you're creating the energy, you say, oh, those people, nobody talked to me. Well, you never cracked a smile. You created that. Right?
Someone just said that to me the other day.
Someone doesn't do the chakra to you. You're like, well, you created that. You're like, whatever. You reach out. Hey, aloha neighbor. If we create the energy, we then offer the opportunity for others to join us in it. Like, let's move into cooperation. I'm choosing cooperation. Do you want to choose it with me? Hey, let's do it.
Someone just said to me the other day, I go to this particular store, and I've been going there for years, and nobody ever says hello. Nobody ever asks me how I am. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. You expect them to ask you how you are. And I thought, I go to this same store, and I talk to everybody. Hey, how you doing today? It's me saying, hey, how are you doing today? I don't expect they have a job to do. Their job is not to entertain me. They're doing something else there. Yeah. And I thought that's how we create our own reality, by putting out what we want.
That's right.
By being friendly to somebody, like you say, you wave and say, hey, how are ya? And I see you is really what we're saying. I see you.
Give what you want. You want respect, give respect. You want connection, give connection. You want to have more conversations, give more conversations. Whatever you're looking for, you give. Give in your outer world, right? And you'll give more of it. That's how that, right. And then the other part of that is not resonating like, oh shoot, I just lost my thought.
That's okay.
That's what happens.
So I was having a conversation with my daughter the other day. It's a little funny story. And she started to talk to somebody, a therapist. She's going through some stuff. And she said, oh, I have to tell you what happened the other day. And I have to tell you, a couple of years ago, we didn't have these kind of conversations. There was not a lot of depth. And she said, well, I was talking to her, and I told her this, and I told her that. And she said to me, okay, I hear that happened. Now you have to send them love and light. And she said, I just laughed. I said, that's what my mom says.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I felt seen by her in a positive way.
Right.
And that
she was listening.
And that she was listening. And that sometimes we have to hear it from a few different places. And then it sinks in a little bit more.
Oh, that's so the way in our personal relationships, mothers, daughters, fathers, sons, lovers, boyfriends, husbands, wives. Because when you're so close, you're like, oh, whatever. You don't use, for some reason we do that.
You always say that love and light thing. I'm so fed up with that.
You hear it from someone else, and it's a pearl. It's wisdom. And thank the Lord for that.
Yeah.
So if someone does hear it from someone else, and you've been saying it many times forever and ever, don't get mad. Let it go. Give thanks that they're getting it.
Yeah.
Give thanks that they're seeing it. Give thanks, instead of like, well, I had the idea to make that. Give thanks people are making it. Give thanks people are creating new ideas. The more we encourage each other to innovate, to create, we've come too long from a line of scarcity, that there's not enough for everyone and there's lack. But if we actually jumped into the spirit of abundance, that there's enough for everyone, that there's enough for all of us to resonate in our divine gifts, we don't have to live in scarcity and lack. And a lot of our issues come from an energy of lack. We don't think there's enough. We're a dog-eat-dog world. We're fighting for the one piece of cake,
Yeah. One of the things I have found in moving to Hawaii, and for anyone out there listening who has moved to Hawaii, I do feel a lot of people listen to some voice inside of them that gets them here. And that might be different for people who grew up here. Maybe they have
obviously.
Yeah. They didn't listen to the voice. In fact, maybe they want to go explore some new place. And again, back to intuition, the value of your intuition. Do you want to go explore that new place because of what? Is it something that you're called to, or is it because your friend did it, or because your mother doesn't want you to do it? Just looking at what we're basing our decisions on.
Yes, what you're making choices from.
Yeah.
You're making choices from your own soul, your own knowingness, your own intuition, or you're making it from peer pressure or from influence from yourself, society, your families, whatever. It's always best. I say, don't take anything I say. Figure it out for yourself. Like, put it through your own body. Don't trust anyone's knowledge. Don't take anything from anyone. Ask questions. Think about it. Ask questions of yourself. They're not necessarily right. Nobody's right. You're right.
You're right for you.
Yourself, for you. You know what's right for you if you listen to your own beingness.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. We are all different and also all the same. So we can help reflect for one another, but ultimately we get to choose because we're here in free will and we get to listen and decide.
And so it's 3:50 and we can decide where we want to go for the next few minutes. I don't see anybody calling, so we don't have any questions. If you want to call 884-5657, I'm playing a little bit of, this is your request, Michál, 963 hertz and 432 hertz.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, universe, for everything, it says. This is YouTube.
So that's 963 is really nice for opening the crown and the pineal gland and working into channeling spiritual energy, etc. 528 is the one I suggest to everyone out there to sleep to. 520. They have lots of long ones on YouTube that you can just play, and it's just the energy of divine love. And remember, you're reprogramming a lot of times, so make it faster. Like, put in music while you sleep is a great way to help your brain start to integrate vibrationally. So you're putting in love vibration while you're sleeping. You're harmonizing your sleep.
I've been charging my phone before bed.
And doing that?
And then I put my phone under my pillow. I unplug it because otherwise it gets hot. And I put it extremely low, and I can
under
just...
your pillow. No.
It's
too
not
close to your head.
No. It's not hooked into the
it's
Wi-Fi.
Not into Wi-Fi.
No. It's downloaded already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I been doing that, and I noticed that my time where I'm in between sleeping and waking is becoming like longer, and like I'm having experiences in there. And I don't know if it's from this or from 10 other things that I'm doing, but
sure, they all contribute.
I do play it a lot. I play it in the car now, certain ones, and I just play it all the time.
Yeah, it can be great background music.
It's not like listening to Bob Marley. It's background, and it's a frequency, and I can feel which ones resonate for me, and then I'll put one on, and I'm like,
no, that one doesn't feel good. I do
no,
that too. I'm like,
and it sounded just like the other one, but it's not.
It's not. It's something else.
So if you're out there and you go on YouTube and you look up this 963 hertz, 432 hertz, all kinds of stuff comes up. I don't really like 432
so much. I suggest 528 as number one, 963 secondary, and then there's other ones, but those are my two faves.
Right, and that's you.
That's me.
Right.
Right, exactly. And someone else might love the other.
But as you pull something like this up on the internet and you start playing it, just notice how it feels in your body. Start paying more and more attention to what you feel in your body when different things are happening in your environment.
And these are simple tools. Like, there's small things you can do to help yourself, right? It's like, let's make it easy when we can make it easy. Like, if you brush your teeth, right, you're going to not have cavities. And that's going to be easier on you than having to do something in your mouth. Which, if you are not yet off fluoride, this is a personal public safety announcement from yours truly, Michál Anna. Please remove yourself from fluoride toothpaste.
And do some research
I'm not a dentist.
To back that up.
I'm not saying that, go talk to, you can talk to whoever you need to talk to. But do some research. The reason why is because the fluoride is actually a square molecular compound that it was used actually long ago for dampening and kind of making us a little more pliable. It can be used as subdue and sedate. So if you're getting too much fluoride from toothpaste, from water, which we don't actually have fluoridated water here in Hawaii, thank the Lord. But if you're getting it in your toothpaste, I highly suggest taking it out. One of my favorites is Uncle Harry's toothpaste in a glass jar. Back to let's all go plastic free as well. The only best solution, another public service, best solution is for us to not use it, and to petition our manufacturers to do something with the things.
You know,
they're
somebody just told me
manufacturing.
they use a toothpaste where it's like a little tablet of soap.
Yeah.
They put in their mouth with a little water.
There's
I
those
thought, wow, that
down
was
at
a
Ripple
great idea.
in Kona.
And I started
There's
using
those.
solid soap for shampoo and conditioner, and I love it. It's more soapy, and it cleans my hair really well. So I'm looking more and more, especially because we're not recycling on our island,
That's right.
sadly.
And the thing back to the Uncle Harry's, what else I like about it, it's actually all essential oils, so it's fully antiviral, antibacterial. So express your teeth throughout the day, and you're literally killing any virus, any immune thing in your throat before it even goes anywhere. And so you're literally containing a healthy environment in your mouth flora.
You know, I've been wanting to. We have neem trees at our house.
Oh yeah, neem's
And
great.
neem, yeah, like you chew on the neem, and that's good for your teeth. But I haven't been chewing on my neem branches lately. So, but yeah, anybody can go out there and research what would be, healthy choices for the environment and for their oral cleansing.
Yes.
Yes, that's not our expertise.
No, but they are tips, little things,
Little tips,
things,
yes,
little
that pop in this moment. So.
I think I would love
Yes.
to, I know you often ask me to do a little meditation, and I feel like we've been covering some great things around flow, intuition, gratitude, and so maybe we could just kind of be in gratitude together, all of us out there, and just give thanks together and kind of come into some center in the energy of yourself. So I'm going to ask if you're able to close your eyes here and now. So just take a few moments, close your eyes, and begin taking some deep belly breaths, deep into your belly, rising it up all the way as far as you can, filling up your lungs, and then push it out of your mouth slowly, feeling it go through all of the ventricles of your lungs, back down through the sternum area, all the way to your belly. You're beginning to massage your inner organs and remove any emotions with this deep belly breathing. Breathing in, filling and exhaling slowly and intentionally. And as you feel yourself coming into the center, it's taking a moment to honor yourself for being present here today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for showing up for yourself to learn, to grow, to expand. And allowing yourself to just feel kind of connected now to the earth. You can imagine from your sacrum, kind of roots of a tree just growing down into the ground, just feeling it go to the center of the earth, connected into this beautiful planet. Everything here that we see is earth. And allowing yourself to move in through your heart, into the center of your head. Kind of just feeling into a sacred space here as you resonate into that heart energy, recognizing you're grounded to the earth. Just intentionalize to see a column of light extending from the top of your head, extending up into the ethers to the God of your heart, just a red ruby heart. Connect into that heart. And just begin feeling peace, connected to divine source, the God of your heart. You are safe, loved, taken care of, here and now. Breathing that essence into your body as you just allow yourself to be filled with kind of a green light. Breathing through your body, connected to the God of your heart, connected to the earth, green light flowing through your body, bringing in healing to anywhere that's ready to be released today. Imagining anything you don't need, any feelings you've had, anything been on your mind. If it's been shaken out today, just allow it to go down that grounding cord like liquid, just going down a pipe into the earth, being transmuted and transformed. The truth is you can let go of anything you don't need here and now. So we claim from our mouths, speak out loud if you're in a place where you can do that. I am free, I am sovereign, I am love. I am free, I am sovereign, I am love. I am free, I am sovereign, I am love. Releasing anything, any attachments to any other beings, cutting all cords to all sentient beings here and now. Use your breath. Remove any other energies that do not belong to you. Use your hands and your breath. And just bringing yourself into the center. Maybe bring your hands together in gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all that is, to however you pray, however you speak in your words. Gratitude. Breathing into that gratitude that you have divine will to make choices to serve your life, that you create an incredible reality. Energy flows where attention goes. Taking a deep breath, and have a blessed and beautiful day.
Thank you, Michál. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Until